Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to another Tuesday night race fans, young and old. Let me just get the game volume out of my way and bring Kane back in. Excellent. Welcome to another Tuesday night scorcher of a race as we bring you live coverage from the opening point scoring round of One Hub's second season on Assetto Corsa Competizione, and making his second outing, and of course joining me for the rest of the season, will be Mr. Kane Dinham.
Good evening, everybody.
And I hope they can hear you over the top of that. Yeah, they can, because I've muted it, so it's absolutely fine. We're going to take you through all the action from the Nürburgring in the 60-minute opener. We didn't indeed have the pre-season friendly last week, but it's tonight we start handing out the points towards the season split after race 3 of our 8-week season. So it is an all-important opener for our drivers this evening, and we really could see some fireworks tonight. And of course, joining me front row for that fireworks display will be everyone's favourite Australian and of course my Antipodean brother from another mother, Mr. Kane. 5 o'clock in the morning, Dinham. How are we doing today, Kane?
Thank you, John. I'm very, very well. Good evening again, ladies and gents, as we welcome you to, as John mentioned, round 1 of One Hub Season 2 of ACC. We are off to Germany this evening. We're here to tackle the 3.192 mile or 5.137 kilometre Nürburgring in what is guaranteed to be a hotly contested round 1. As tonight, these drivers look to get the most of the points before round 3 and the split in the championship happens, John.
Indeed. I love that one. Freudian slip there, Kane, perhaps. So as I was saying, we really could see some fireworks tonight. The drivers are going to want to get themselves on a solid points footing. Track conditions tonight may make a solid footing. Not quite that easy. But yeah, Kane, the season split will then soon happen. Suzuka.
That's exactly right, John. Season split will happen after the Suzuka race. So round 3, that split will happen, but not before we do get through the first 3. And after tonight, we will, of course, be heading off to the commentator's paradise, which is
Spa! Did someone say Spa? Belgium. What? Spa. Oh yeah, look, there it is. Round number 2. We're going there next week. Hurrah! Doesn't get any better now, does it? But there it is, the calendar. As we mentioned, there is going to be a split. Poor Kane's got to listen to this first thing in the morning. You guys at home can turn me down and still watch the race, and this poor bugger has got to keep listening. But yeah, we do have, as I said, an 8-week point scoring season. We start tonight in Germany. We're off to Belgium next week. Did we mention we're going to Spa? No, we're going to Spa. Then we've got Suzuka after that. The points tally after round 3 at Suzuka will determine where the drivers spend the next 5 races, whether they're in the top tier or the second tier. Then we'll go to Italy to race at Monza. We'll have Brands Hatch, Silverstone, Calame, and finally a 75-minute race around Imola. So that is the season ahead. 2 sets of prizes up for grabs. Kane, lobby settings for the races, please.
Of course. So everybody will be running on the BOP 2020 settings. They will each have 15 minutes of practice and 15 minutes of qualifying. Ambient temps, track temps, the weather are all dynamic. Time multiplier at the ×1, so normal time there. Each race will vary, time start, and will be mirrored on the practice server. The guys do need to come in for their 1 mandatory pit stop, which just needs to take on 1 litre of fuel. They will, of course, be in the same car for the whole 8 races now. So after the pre-season testing last week, everybody is in their chosen car for the season. As we say hello to everybody in the chat as well. Dexter in the chat. Ferrari on Spa. Sounds excited. Just Games. Oh!
Yes!
There. Good evening, everybody. Floppy Fox there as well. Floppy out on track and in chat. These aliens that can do both, John.
It's horrifying. I can't even do one or the other. I don't actually have access to the chat. I'm such a professional broadcaster. I don't have access to my phone at the moment. That's the only way I can see the Twitch chat. But Kane will keep saying hi to everyone, and I'll keep shouting hi over the top of him, trying to interrupt him, but he's a consummate professional. So he will, of course, keep on going. We're going to have a quick talk, though, about... He is a long-suffering Australian, has to be said. On screen at the moment, you can actually see the weekly schedule for our drivers. Sunday, Thursday, Friday are the break days. Monday, we've got the media evening. Endless questions that Kane and I have got to go through here for the drivers' questions and answers. Pick their brains, see how they're feeling ahead of events, what they feel went before. Things like that. Tuesday, of course, race day. That's today, unless you're watching on the VOD. And if you're watching on the VOD, thank you for tuning back in. I hope you enjoy the race that you're about to see. I'm sure it's going to be a cracker for you. Wednesday, we open the driver of the day polls, and we open the steward's office. Thursday and Friday is a break day for the drivers, not for the stewards though, depending on what the drivers are putting them through. They may be busy, they may not be, but on Saturday we announce the results from the stewards' inquiries, and the driver of the day results are released, say, like this one. Yuri B, congratulations on taking driver of the day in the pre-season race. He qualified in second, made his way up a whole one position, and he finished in first. Won the race with a 75% fan vote, so not too shabby at all. And of course, let's not forget one of the most important parts these broadcasts can only be put on, and the races, the organisation in the background. It's all down to the sponsors. So big shout out to sponsors. Next Level Racing, they sponsor the F1 leagues by providing a DD stand to the driver who gets the most Driver of the Day awards in F1, and also Freem Sim Racing. They sponsor this league as well by providing a pair of sim racing gloves. And we've also got partners, Vespertine, partner with Vespertine, who support championship prizes, and of course ERT. Have you heard of them? ERT? No. They used to drive Ferraris, but now they don't so much. Partner of the ERT, Go and Gets Tough Award, is now here for ACC as well. If you complete your media day goodies and you finish outside of the top 3 and you attend every race, you are in the running for the Go and Gets Tough Award, which is a £25 voucher. We'd also like to say as well, as you can see, the events are sponsored. Let me just make sure I get this one right. As well by the Mental Health Foundation. Okay, mental health is the most important thing you can do for yourself. It is good to talk. Even if it is just send somebody a text, give somebody a phone. If you're feeling down yourself, say hi to somebody. There's always somebody available. My DMs are open. I know what it's like to be down that dark hole of depression. Any of these problems at all. The Mental Health Foundation is a very proud sponsor of One Hub Racing, and One Hub's very proud that they're on board as well. It's good to talk. Get it out there if you need to. That is the sponsors and the partners. The drivers have got about 2 minutes left of free practice. Then we can discuss their car choices, Kane. There's been a bit of smoke and mirrors going on. Some people saying, oh, I'm changing my car, and yet we're looking at these lineup. One of the cars, if you can see, no, you can't see what I can see. Can you see what I can see up in third position there? At the moment, that's an interesting car choice. I didn't mean to do that.
John's on the ball. Not too sure exactly what he's done there.
I've just put the practice screen up. I was trying to show you, and I forgot that. Yeah, pushed it. I've got Streamlabs in 2 halves, and I put the wrong half up on screen, so everyone's just had a quick sneak peek at the drivers in their cars. I'm such a professional streamer. I love streamers. I like the pink ones, especially. I stole that from Chef Dottie.
Jess in the chat mentioning all sorts of names, John. You are on fire. We've got Dexter mentioning he still does drive the Ferrari, John. Back in the full
he does, but we're on console at the moment, Dex, so you're getting it stinking, bud.
Of course. And we do have the doctor in the house, Dr. Nailbender.
Doctor in.
Joining in.
How is the doctor?
that mental health website in chat there says never
Good,
suffer
good.
in silence. Everyone can agree. Get it off your chest. Have a chat. Everyone's always there for you.
Indeed, indeed. Unless you're very lucky like me, I have a group of very, very close friends. We spend every single night in a Discord chat. I'd like to say we're being nice to one another, but at the end of it, we'll all leave with a smile on our face. Speaking of leaving a smile on our face, half the server's just disconnected. Bad server quality. Let's just have a look at the official lineup. Yep, the server.
Ooh,
I think
we are in meltdown mode. That is.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yeah, so while Kane and I sit in panic here as the server, they're all leaving. SOP Cool's got a red ping. Somebody's trying to rejoin. I think we might need to reset that server, actually. But let's have a look. You can see on screen now the 20 drivers. That's right. We've got a full grid. We are missing Flying Frome this week, which is a devastating shame. Because not only did he finish in the top 3 of the championship, he bagged himself a second place in the opening race last week. He was driving a Lexus. He qualified 9th in the season opener and finished up in 2nd. That is Flying Frome. I think we'll need to have a word with the art department as well. Those drivers probably should have went in order of the 3 that won the championship last season. I've got a weather eye on the server, but do have some drivers that have made it back in. And we've got a couple of drivers. Yeah, server's not looking at smoothest at the moment, but we will crack on. We do have drivers out on track for qualifying. Are you struggling to get in, Kane, or how are you looking?
No, I'm still here, John. I've just got some insider information here that says parts of the UK have had some server issues. Let's hope that doesn't cross over due to crossover onto the console. Due to weather, apparently a bit wild over there at the moment in parts. So hopefully that isn't playing too much of a role here. 16 drivers back into the qualifying session now. 13.5 minutes still left to go. Let's hope we can have a clean race. Everyone's connection seems to be looking okay there. We're talking about Flying Frome earlier. Flying Frome and Art Connor. Rivalries from pre-season race there. Connor asked, must feel confident securing a 3rd place this time, as you've been doing well in other leagues and forfeited your seat there to come back here and race in ACC. Why so confident, and why will it give you the catalyst over the driver that tipped you last season? Connor's response was, I don't know if I'd say I'm confident, especially with so many new faces that all look so strong. But I much prefer racing in ACC, and it's likely this will continue to be my main focus for leagues for a while. I'm going to give it everything and try and finally secure my first proper podium. So Art Connor there with a podium hope for the season ahead.
Yes, yeah, we've got Car Mentalist on screen. We can now reveal. Everyone's having a look frantically, trying to make out all those badges. Car Mentalist has gone for the Audi R8, so he's already put himself on the back foot because, as Kane will tell you, the Mercedes, the Bentley, all these front engine cars do seem to be the ones that do just that little bit better here in Germany at the Nürburgring. Car Mentalist sporting an Audi. We've got more drivers trying their best to join back in. Blue Mosquito in the Bentley. Yuri B has decided to win the championship because he's in a Ferrari. He knows what he's doing. The mighty Iggy in a Honda. He's stuck with that one then. Casper in the Aston. Leon's gone for the Porsche. Shot corner. He really doesn't know how to throw that thing about. So hopefully he can make it through without his better half turning the channel over mid-race and sending him into a wall. Chromecast, Jason's in a Macca. He's in the McLaren. Cablo rocking the Bentley. Surprised he's not in a Mercedes, if I'm honest. Car Mentalist, a returning champion. All change on the car front. That is an Audi R8, as we just mentioned. How is that going to work out for this season? Corrado rocking the Aston. We've got Tropic Rot and a Ferrari. Another Born winner right there. Rogues in an Audi R8 as well. So the Audi getting a fair bit of love. Floppy Fox in the Ferrari. We'll just take our time on that one. Then some guy called Milden in an Aston Martin. We don't know who he is. Mix 64. He's joining us in the Lexus SOP. Cool, yeah. The Ferrari team. And there he is, the man that likes to keep me on my toes. You having a giggle? I think he might have been. He was not having a giggle with his performance in the season opener last week. Could we see him? Bruno's joining late because of work. Excellent. But yeah, the Mighty Iggy qualified 7th last week in the season opener, made his way on to the podium. We've got some times coming in then as he's just coming through that Mercedes arena. And I was having a quick scan through the interviews, Kane, and the Mercedes arena, the drivers were all asked where are you struggling the most around this week's location. And the vast majority of them are all saying Sector 1, the Mercedes Arena, Sector 1. So it really does, I mean, just, yeah, from the driver's words, it doesn't need you or I's personal experience or horrifying tracks in here. But the drivers themselves all seem to agree that Section 1 here is going to be the tricky one.
Yeah, always is. John, Sector 1, Turn 1, as I slipped before. Always a contentious point, especially early on in the race there. But yeah, it's tricky left-handers for me. Two left-handers just after the turn 1 in the Mercedes arena, and then getting it fired into the right-hander straight enough so you can plant that early and get the run out for that little straight there. Is very tricky. The guys are going to have quite a blast around there tonight. It's going to be fun keeping track of all of that. We do say hello to Colin in the chat. Colin's here to cheer on Casper and Milden. We've got SOP, we've got Simon in the chat here, supporting the SOP drivers out there tonight. Yeah, looking very, very good at the moment. We've got Mix 4 up there in the top spot at the moment with a 55.6, closely followed by Car Mentalist.
Just
as we take a pause there to see UV's time flash up.
Thank Car Mentalists.
Yeah, we're going to let this run through because everybody's on their hot laps here, and this is going to be a carousel of cars.
It really is. It's going to be non-stop. Mix was on pole position. He finds himself 8/10 adrift. Car Mentalist finds himself 7/10 ahead of anybody else. Returning champion laying down the markers. Blue Mosquitoes still in the pits. You having a giggles out there. Fox and Corrado still to set times. There is some bloke called Milden driving. He actually said in his interview, where are you struggling out here the most? I know most of the drivers said Sector 1. Milden, just to get himself a bit of extra camera time because he forsook the Ferrari. So I told him he wasn't getting any screen time this season. Where are you struggling most around this week's location? He said the last chicane, it seems like it was made by John for non-Ferrari drivers. And yes, it is a very, very tricky chicane as we see him coming through in the cheat cut. I mean, Aston Martin sails his way through it. Going to complete his second attempt at a flying lap, currently 1.9 off the pace. I would expect that gap to half, at least. No, only 4/10 he found there. Wow.
It does amaze me, John, how many cheat cars you seem to find within the ACC world that none of them have a Ferrari badge on them, coincidentally.
Listen, the Ferrari is an all-round. I love it. Picking on his man. That's it. There we go. Never mind. Yeah, no. So the Bentley and they eat too many carbs. I mean, the Lexus in the wet. It's funny as well, Kane, because it's all cars that you've driven: the Aston, Bentley, and the Lexus.
Actually, I haven't driven the Aston all that much. But, the, the Lexus, the Mercedes, did take the Boatley for a little bit. But yeah.
Basically
Everyone
anything
knows
that
why
can
we stay
handle a
away from
car.
the Ferrari. Yeah. As soon as
Oh, do
anyone
I?
touches a Ferrari, we've succumbed to you apparently. So seen the light.
Seen the light.
The light as Mentalist pops out a 54.8.
And SOP
Guys,
Cool joins him on the front row in a Ferrari.
Yeah, Leon Sealy not far behind in that Porsche as well. Guys really throwing it up there at the moment.
Yeah, Mix 64 as well. He'll be looking to make a bit of an improvement. So will Connor. Floppy Fox is back in the pits. He's actually teleported within the pits. He's got 5 minutes left to go. When the practice session started for these drivers, it is all one session of course, they had a double cloud demo up at the top right there, and the track was fast. It's now still fast and there's a bit of sunlight coming out, so it looks like we're going the opposite way to rain. So Dex, that's you can expect your P45 for server setting duties tomorrow morning. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a wet Nürburgring. Leon back in the pits. 210s separating the top 10. Come on, Team Ferrari. I mean, SOP Cool coming round the last corner. I'm not biased, you are. He's going to cross the finish line. Does he go any quicker? No. Doesn't quite improve this time. So another go around Yuri B. Starting to get a bit of traffic in qualifying. He does have some space in front of him, but he could catch up to these two. One of them lets him through. Cablo back in the pitch. You having a giggle, set a time. And that is Yuri just behind him. So yeah, looks like he's been caught in traffic. He's a fair chunk off the pace at the moment. I would expect that to drastically improve very soon. Look at Yuri in the background though, how much pace he does carry through that last chicane. Incredible. Takes the wider line to set it up. He's going to get a very good exit. They're going to cross the line pretty much side by side here. You having a giggle goes 2 seconds quicker. Yuri doesn't improve. He is in the slipstream. It's an awkward position for both of them then. Wow, look how much better he is on the brakes.
Dexter in the chat. Just mentioning a wet spa? Question mark?
Oh, don't toy with my emotions. Do not be threatening me with a good time
Just
and taking this away
up.
from me.
You never know, Dex. And we've got Colin. Our Mentalist is a machine. Fact.
Hi, Colin.
Correct. 100%
Oh, yeah.
correct. Our Mentalist out there. Setting the pace at the moment with that 54.8 blistering time there in the Audi tonight. 3 minutes left to go. These guys still out there to set the laps. John can't even.
No, I can't even get that quick on a PC. 54.8. What is my best time round here? Is it a 56? What is it you and I are doing round here on the PC, Ken? Do we even want to say that out loud? No,
we talked about this, John. We weren't going to mention our times to anybody. It's going to embarrass make us look silly. That was the exact words. Let's not make us look sillier.
Yeah. I don't think those were the exact words, but I don't think we can. Yeah. Oh, Simon's in the chat as well, much like he did with his driving the other night as well. Ba-dum-dum. Thanks very much. I'm here all week. Tip your witness. I really need to get another logo for that bottom right. Camera set. Floppy Fox hasn't set a time as of yet. We're getting close to that point in time where he really is going to need it. Oh, we've got an O.
No, I thought we just lost him there, John.
Oh, okay.
Floppy just going to the back at 17th there at the moment. Flying through him, evening chaps. Shame you're not racing, says Colin. Apparently up in bed, so not too well. We wish Flying through speedy recovery there. Get well soon, mate.
Yeah, I feel you, mate. I'm currently
next week. Or where are we next week again, John? I keep forgetting.
Spa.
Of course.
I know it's difficult to forget. It's not like we've mentioned it. Did we mention Spa next week? I forgot. Did we get enough time mentioning the 7-kilometre track in Belgium? That's the greatest Belgium track ever. Did we talk about that yet? Did we? Yeah. Floppy Fox is coming in the last corner to set a time. Let's see where it shakes him into the order. It's not going to be a 54 or a 55 by the look of it. No, it's not. It's a 56.6. Commentator's eye working well there. Yeah, From, get yourself better, mate. I hope you're feeling better. I know, yeah, a bit under the weather. I'm the same. I'm on tablets that could literally choke a donkey at the moment, and they've given me some cream that is flammable that I'm supposed to put on my face. It's like, what? Actually comes with a warning. So should I, Kane. You should come with a warning too. Have you seen what's happened up at the top of the field? Go Team Ferrari!
Yes, of course. SOP Cool setting the fastest lap straight back into the pits. He's done and dusted.
Mix has just beat him.
But of course, out of nowhere, Mix with a 54.498. Take pole at the moment. 10th, John. A couple of cars out on track, but
Yuri is about to cross the finish line. Is he going to improve? He's 6/10 off the pace. No improvement there. Leon Seeley and, of course, Car Mentalist.
Car Mentalist up.
Alright, okay, you... Is he? Oh, excellent. I can't pick drive anymore, so I can't see. So Car Mentalist is up on his time. We're not sure. Oh, he's coming in the last corner first. Is he up? Kane knows how much he's up. He's watching. Oh!
I knew it was going to be close. It wasn't telling me it was going to be that close. But
That is ridiculous.
Dumping the foot down on the last lap to take pole position there, John. As Kieran joins the chat, says, Paul Ricard is not in Belgium. Kieran with
Oh yeah, because because Simon's favourite track is Paul Ricard. But the best Belgian track is Zolder. It's Spa. It's the best Belgian track is Spa. It's not Zolder. Freudian slip. Who was that pulled over? Yuri's pulled over in fourth. Leon Seeley then took second place in qualifying in the opening race of the season, or the pre-season race. He's currently in sixth. He's coming through the last chicane in a Porsche, and he's completely overcooked it, and he's going to go straight into the pit sideways, and then don't reverse back up on track. Good lad. Iggy's made a pig's ear of his lap. Mosquito then. QTB, the big surprise package, coming out the Coca-Cola curve for the last time in qualifying, and he finds himself in 12th. So there we go then. We have our qualifying positions. Let me quickly jump on board with Yuri because he is in 4th. And that way we'll start there from the start of the race. But there we go then. Car Mentalist, defending champion with 2 purple sectors. And the first pole position in a points scoring event of season number 2 at One Hub's ACC seasons. And it is Car Mentalist taking the honours. Anybody surprised? Anybody? Nope, didn't think so. Moving swiftly on then, Mix 64 joining him on the front row of the grid with SOP Cool. Temporarily pole position with a 54.7. Purple sector 3, only good enough to see him in 3rd. Yuri B won last week. Before the points were being handed out, finds himself on the 2nd row of the grid. This week, Floppy Fox left it late, but he's got himself up to 5th ahead of last week's winner, Leon. Ahead of new driver Leon Seeley. It was Yuri that won last week. Get myself confused. Tropic Rock in 7th. We've got Rogue in 8th. Art Connor 9th. The mighty Iggy in 10th. Again, at one point, was up near the top end of the table. And then 11th through 17th. SOP used to be Cool Milden, and now he's not because he drives an Aston Martin. Then we've got Blue Mosquito in 12th. I really don't let these things go, do I? Blue Mosquito is in 12th, row number 7 on the grid. It's Casper and Corrado side by side, and they're Aston Martins, but they never forsook the Ferrari, so they'll get camera time. Cablo is in 15th. He's not in the Mercedes anymore, he's in the Bentley. And then it is You Having a Giggle and Jason side by side. In fact, no, they're not. Sorry, you're having a giggles on row 8. Jason is on row number 9 in the McLaren 720S. One of the biggest surprises for me, one Lexus and only one McLaren Kane. That's for the series. That's a surprise to me. I don't know about you, but I was expecting to see a few more Macas this season, unless there's something changed on the console. That used to be a pretty solid car, but not many on display for this one.
Yeah, not as many as we usually see. Sure, you and I have been away from the console for a little bit now, so not quite sure where those quicker cars are coming from, but yeah, good selection still out there for the season ahead. Guys, get underway for the formation lap. Do we get control again sometime here?
Yeah, you should be able to hit drive. What screen are you on?
Yeah, sorry, we got Doc in the chat. He's barracking for Floppy Fox. Here, Floppy Fox starting from 5th position. Let's see where he can move, whether he can move up the ranks from his turn 1. Turn 1's going to be absolutely crucial, as it is in 100% of the races ahead. But yeah, definitely narrows into the bend, and then getting around Mercedes arena, those left-handers to the right, it's going to be tricky. Cold tyres, plenty of fuel, probably in the tank at the moment. Don't know everybody's fuel strategy here, but generally guys going out on a relatively full tank. We've got some issues here. John, is that Milden in the pits? Milden,
You having a giggles in the pits? Or he's got the pit marker on him. This is the problem with spectator mode on console. I can't jump between, I can't hit return to garage to go and have a look through the field to see who's doing what, so it won't be until they actually cross the start finish line we'll find out what is going on. Let me just bring up One Hub Racing there so I can at least see the chat. Hello. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I know I'm usually slightly more interactive with it. I can't actually see it the way I'm doing the stream setup at the moment on behalf of One Hub. But I have just opened up a web browser, so I'll try and keep up with the chat as well. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Dr. Nailbender, I know you're there. Kieran, Simon, we've got Colin in there as well. Come on, get to the Arnold, do it. That's what I'm here for. Anybody that was waiting on the Arnold impression, there you go. You can go home happy now. You don't have to listen to me for another hour.
Anyone who had bets on how long it would take, collect from the front office.
The sweepy has been declared. That's not bad though. 38 minutes in before I did an Arnold impression.
Oh yeah, I had 6 to 9 minutes. I was well out.
And I thought you and I had a decent working relationship. You know nothing, Kane. You know nothing. Jess, yes, I can see the chat. Hello. So apologies to anybody I've missed. I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. I will sing your theme song, Doc, but I'm not sure One Hub really would appreciate that. So we'll... Arnold, come on. All respect normal. If you get to get to the start line, if you get the mandatory pit stop to take, we might have someone starting in the pits. What's going on? Yeah, right, okay, that's the medication kicking in. Somebody switch the lights off, close the blinds. There is the finish line. We'll be getting the green lights very soon. No, they started on the green light. And I'll tell you what, row 2 and row 3 got completely polar opposite starts. You can see the Porsche of Leon Seeley absolutely pressuring UDB, but they're backed out of that one there. There's an Audi trying to force his way up the middle, but it is the lead maintained comfortably then by Car Mentalist. Mix 64 in second, and it is SOP Cool going around the outside to hold on to third in the Mercedes arena, or is he? He's being challenged by UDP. This is an interesting one you can see in the background as well. Look at the Porsche and the Ferrari. Floppy, Fox and Leon Seeley going at it. The rest of the field have all made it through. I think Kane can confirm that has got to be the sweetest Mercedes curve lap 1 of any race we've ever presided over. The race leaders are off into the lead, and the rest of them are all going side by side. It is Ferrari on Ferrari action, and it's SOP Cool and Indigo Lines Yuri B. A little bit of contact there coming through turns 5 and 6. Cool shoot off into the distance, leaving Yuri with a Leon C. Oh, and there's a bit of a tap in the rear end, and they've managed not to collect anyone else, which is good. Nope, we've got a couple of cars going to run off. Oh, the hairpin. Who'd have thought the hairpin on the first lap would be where it all went wrong? Kane could probably confirm for me. I think that was Leon Seeley. Floppy Fox missed his brakes, tapped Leon Seeley, and then a knock-on effect ensued, I would guesstimate, my friend.
100%, yeah. Bit of carnage there. Thought they did escape relatively unscathed, and another two trying to avoid the action come together and ricochet either side of the track also. So a couple dropped back there. Has allowed SOP Milden join from the pits, and he's going to be up into about 15th position, I believe, after everything works itself out here in the split.
So he did start from the pits?
Apart from, correct, SOP Milden, and you having a giggle from the pits. Dexter with his Floppy and Leon coming together. Not what we wanted to see there, but it did take a while. I thought we were going to see a little bit earlier. Contact avoided until that hairpin.
Yeah, it really was a cracking opening lap, and it's still 2 by 2. We've got the old Noah's Ark forming up at the front. Carmentalist has got Mix 64 right behind him. Can we just take a moment, by the way, to give... I mean, I know he's the returning champion, but in the last couple of weeks, he's really not been on his game by Carmentalist standard. He's picked a new car, a car that wasn't touted to do well at this track. That's him in the lead. Just unbelievable talent that man's got. So annoying. But it is 2 by 2, as I say. Carmentalist, he doesn't have it all his own way at the moment. He's got Mix 64 in that Lexus, keeping him company up at the front. And then it is the Ferrari boys, SOP Cool and Yuri B. This one's going to go right down to the absolute wire, I can tell you that one. Rogue in the background then. Great start by Rogue. Made up quite a few places there. I got too excited about something on another screen. Never took a picture of the qualifying results, but I'm pretty sure Rogue's made up a few places already. Obviously, with the coming together of Leon and Floppy Fox. Everyone behind them made up those. Three positions there from Rogue. Started in 8th, Art Connor in 9th, up to 7th. Blue Mosquito from 12th position on qualifying. He's moved up into 8th spot, so one to watch there between Mighty and Art Connor at the moment. Yeah, indeed, yeah, and that's certainly two of those positions will have been aided with Leon and Floppy Fox having that little coming together. Bruno only just signed up to the league as well, currently running in 16th position, so it's good to see. Yeah, we did, I would say, because as you know, Kane, there were 16. I'm falling over my words. Something awful this evening, I do apologise. There was only 16 we had for last week. Ooh, just a little bit. Ooh, a little bit more. Gina G. No, we'll leave that one alone. It is what we all feared. The Ferraris are coming together and they're dropping down the order. No, that was just me. Okay, that was just me. But yeah, Yuri B and SOP Cool then. The two Ferraris, the exit to turn 1, the slightest to tap, and that's all it takes when you're in an area that requires such precision or such precise control of the weight transfer of the car. SOP Cool was left pirouetting there. Slightest touch by Yuri B, and I tell you, that can only be a good thing for Floppy Fox and Leon Seeley, and if I'm honest, for us as well, because it's going to put some of these really quick drivers bunched together in the middle of the field. And I'll tell you, there's a couple of them could start feeling the pressure. This league splits in 3 races time. The top 10 will be tier 1. The second tier will be tier 2. I don't think I went over... Oh no, I did go over that in the intro. It's fine. And so yeah, so finding yourself too far down the order early in the season could certainly make it interesting when you got Milden here in 14th. And tell you, Bruno is looking very quick. He's not afraid to get that Lexus on those curves to get around the corner. That one might be a bit of a slap on the wrists from the in-game stewards. but as I'm sure Jixer will tell you, as the commentator said on the GT3s from Donington, if you've got 3 track cuts, there's no point gaining a 10th. You might as well fling it over a chicane and gain half a second.
Gaining more than half a second here, John, is SOP Cool, who's on a charge now. Did get caught behind Cablo and Leon Searley, but gets 2 of those positions done in 2 corners here. Leon Searley was showing a little bit more patience there behind Cablo, but now he's going to have to put his foot down because Cool is on a charge now after that contact. Did have a quick look at that replay. Cool just not getting the power down as quickly as Yuri. Sorry, had
Right, okay.
gathered there as Yuri. Yuri definitely got that Ferrari planted a long time before Cool did, and that did cause that little bit of contact there. So not into the braking zone, that was out of the acceleration area. So Pablo just succumbing to those 2 quicker drivers, getting caught up in some drama early on. Yeah, SOP Cool and SOP Leon Searley here, thinking they're going to work together, see how far they can push themselves back up now.
Yeah, you certainly would. Flying From God, that contact was so minimal for both. Yeah, it is. I made contact with someone on Sunday night, absolute minimal, the second chicane at Monza, and yeah, you'd think he'd been absolutely poleaxed the way his car went spinning off the track. As I say, you know yourself, mate, the weight transfer in that turn 1, you're downhill, you're back on yourself, the weight of the car is all over the place at that point, and yeah, you add any extra, even the slightest, that's yeah, it's certainly enough to make it a difficult experience for the drivers involved. Cool though, as we say, back up into the top 10 with Leon Searley following close behind. Still very close then outside the top, and that is the wrong screen, so let's do that one. Hurrah! On you go, Ken.
All of that, John. Floppy Fox is coming to the pits, got that mandatory stop done, in 18th position at the moment, but
Oh, Yuri's just coming.
yeah, has that pit stop. Yuri into the pits early on for Yuri as well.
Yeah, perhaps wants to get out of the way of these battles. 51 minutes still to go, so they'll get a set of tyres.
Mix 64, there's been an accident, there's been an incident here. Car Mentalist, 4.5 seconds down. Got APX Road right up, so Mix 64 into the lead of the race with a good, comfortable chunk of time there as well.
Yeah, we'll jump back up there. You want to have a quick look and see if you can see anything in replay form. And I'll keep an eye on the rest of the race. So the race lead has changed hands. Don't worry, we'll only need to wait 50 minutes. Car Mentalist is still going to finish on the podium. We'll get him in the interview box as well, and we'll find out what's going on. Could Mix be making his debut here? It's not a bad debut performance, leading the way. But yeah, that is a big gap now, and Car Mentalist has Rogue closing them down. Tropic Rock close in attendance at corner there as well. There's Blue Mosquito in 6th. The Mighty Iggy is in 7th. We've got Casper in 8th. We've got SOP Cool in 9th. And Leon Searley rounded out. Oh, and Cool's lost it. Cool's lost it. Just coming up towards the Schumacher S. Oh no, that was the exit to the Schumacher S. Sorry, my apologies. I'm looking at corner early. That was the Schumacher S exit. Cool's just made a bit of a pig's ear of that one. He's going to lose those places then to Cablo. And I tell you, Bruno and Milden, I think have both got through as well. Yeah, they have. So Cool is going to plummet down the order. Yep, down to 13th. Wow. Any further forward on the mixed Car Mentalist there, Kane?
Yeah, just catching up with it now. Missed it once, so just on the quick little replay. Got around lap 4, still had a 4-second lead. Heads into the final corner. Still in front. Yeah, no update yet, John.
No update as of yet. So we'll keep watching. And Bruno trying to get his way past Milden. And now they've got Cool going to be closing them down as well. The Nürburgring really is shaking things up. Floppy Fox is leading the way out the pitted drivers. Still 49 minutes of the race left to go. So a long way to go in that Ferrari, joined by Yuri B and Corrado. These three drivers all coming in and getting their pit stop done very, very early indeed. Most likely trying to find themselves some clear air to get some running done. Bruno is the closest man on track. He's got Milton just ahead of him. Cablo's not too far down the road. He was being pressured by Leon and Cool. Cool dropped it. Leon is off and running, trying to catch up to Casper just ahead of him. Our lone Honda entrant running comfortably inside the top 10 at the moment as well. We're going to have to see. It's all going to be down to the pit stops now for a lot of these drivers. Car Mentalist looks like he's guarded himself a bit, but Mix, yeah, still 5 seconds up the road. APX Rogue is finding out just how difficult it is to catch back up to Car Mentalist. He's still in an identical car. The Car Mentalist is taking a 10th or 2 at a time out of Rogue, but can't seem to find any time on Mix. So perhaps he had a big spin, perhaps he's got a bit of damage. It's a bit of a strange one for a returning champion, although in saying that, set damage, he's just set his quickest lap of the race with a 1:55.6. So whatever did ail him.
Yeah, and whatever did ail him has not showed itself on the replay, John. Bit of a problem there. I've just watched his last 2.5 laps and seen nothing. So not too sure exactly what did happen. But yeah, Car Mentalist 5.5 seconds behind Mix 64 at the moment. And that Lexus doing well.
Yes, indeed. He has just set his quickest lap of the race as well, which was just under a 10th quicker than Car Mentalist. So we will have to try and figure out what happened there. I'm sure we will find out in the interview box afterwards. Mix defo doing well tonight. Good in quali too. Yes, indeed. Should be out in clean air after that and flying, says Dr. Nailbender. Floppy is pitted, yes. So there we go. Bit of loving the Fox. Out hunting again. Corrado with a 59 at the back of the pack. We'll see what's happening up at the front.
Just joining the chat there, waiting for the Lexus's tyres in.
Yeah, the tyre wear, yeah.
From the Lexus. Might see a bit of a drop there from Mix 64 later on in the race. But still 46 minutes to go. Car Mentalist just gained another 0.3 on my screen, so slowly working his way back up at the moment.
Yeah, there we go. So Mix crosses the line with a 1:55.9, 1:55.8 for Car Mentalist. He was a 10th quicker on that lap. But they're still lapping within 2 to 3 tenths of their personal best. Rogue in the background putting in a good lap time as well. And that's the wrong screen size. Oh no, it was a 56.5 he's just done, so he's about a second off the pace of the lead 2. Could see himself getting swamped by the cars behind it very quickly indeed. Just having a look down as well to see Bruno has got himself past Milden. Milden's come into the pits to take his mandatory stop. Floppy Fox is just coming around the last corner now, so he's definitely ahead of Milden, and I think Yuri B should be, might not be quite as comfortably as Fox's lead, but they should be ahead of Milden. He's just coming to a stop now. There goes Floppy Fox along the start finish straight, and there comes Yuri B. So we'll see early doors where this irons out, and yeah, Milden still stationary, so those are both covered. So is Corrado, just so Corrado gets through just as Milden is moving. Oh, so he's last of the cars that have pitted. He's got a lot of work on his hands. A lot of work on his hands. This has been overtaken by Bruno. Cool's back up to 11th end with the way the pits are still. A couple of mistakes we've seen this very spot. In fact, 2 laps ago we saw him lose on the exit to the Schumacher S. That was the second time we've seen him tumbling down the order. 11th at the moment, and Cablo's inside the top 10 along with Leon. Is Leon going to come in and respond to the pit stops? He's not. In the Porsche, he's off and running. Casper has stayed out as well. So a couple of early, like you're saying, Kane, it's a bit of a surprise. Some of these pit stops I didn't expect to see, especially with the track conditions. I really didn't expect to see this many drivers in this early. Do you think we'll see any more before the halfway mark?
At this rate, no doubt. A couple of those pit stops may have been caused by early on incidences. Is that even a word?
Bruno right on cue.
Bruno right on cue comes in. Keeping a close eye here on Blue Mosquito. Did jump up plenty of positions there in qualifying. Has a top 10 goal for the season. Currently comfortably in 6th position at the moment after those 6 spots from qualifying. So definitely taking advantage of the drivers dropping off in front, and looks to be catching Art Connor as well, who has dropping in front of him as the field slowly spreads out, getting 42 minutes left. Yeah, action aplenty. These guys battle it out for these first 3 races of the season before the points do get split. The championship does get split. Points will be reset, and they will be go again.
From your own point of view, Ken, I know I meant to, I don't mean to throw you under the bus here. I meant to bring it up before we came live on air. The pressure. I mean, this is race 1, but this is a sighter race. Say you're somebody like, well, look at SOP Cool. He's currently finishing in 11th. You've got Leon Seeley in 9th. Yuri B is down in 16th. Okay, Yuri's taking his pit stop. Floppy Fox down in 14th. Do you think it could get to the stage as early as race 1, where some of the drivers would think, right, I'm aiming for top 10 this season and perhaps potentially winning the whole thing? Do you think it could add a bit of extra pressure as early as race 1 for guys like Cool and stuff to make sure that at least get into the top 10 to make sure they're in the top 10 split, or do you think it's just going to be business as? I think it, personally, I think it might add a bit of pressure. What's your take on that?
Yeah, 100%. It's going to add pressure. These guys can see all the same names on screen that we can see, and not any one of those drivers out there slow. Plenty of very, very quick names. So definitely going to be competitive throughout the season if you don't have any incidences. So these guys have had little mishaps. Start of round 1. Definitely be feeling the pressure here. Three races to get their split preference, where they want to be, where they think they should be in the field, and yeah, if they're not in and around that mark at the moment, then yeah, 100% do think they will be feeling that pressure. The way they feel pressure and deal with it, definitely different from you and I, John. They're feeling it, but it doesn't translate on screen through the car at all. These guys are professionals. They know what they're doing. A lot better than we do, that's for sure. Dexter just joined in the chat. Some of the favourites have struggled a bit so far. Exactly your words there, feeling the pressure of split championship. 3 races to get into that top championship and fight it out with the rest of the pack. Everyone's still going to be on track at the same time. Don't worry, people. We're not going to be dropping off to 10 drivers. Everyone's still going to be out there competing on.
It's just an excuse to hand out more prizes.
It's a brilliant excuse to hand out more prizes to me.
I think it is. It's great. It gives, yeah, like I say, there's now, yeah, more prizes up for grabs. I didn't actually fully go into the prizes because I'm actually terrible at streaming, but everybody knows that. We did mention the Go and Gets Tough award, so Dex is going to be happy. Colin and Nick will be wringing their hands together. Sorry, chaps. There is the winner from each split will win a £25 PlayStation or Amazon voucher. You get the choice. The driver gets the choice on that one, obviously. But there is a hiatus on that. You're not allowed to buy other driving games that might impact your racing on ACC, like our returning champion Car Mentalist did. when he went and bought a NASCAR game. So we might have to reconsider that one. But yeah, that is the prize. I'll tell you what, there's a... Oh, look at that, sneaky. Let's sneak that one in there. So that's what the drivers will win in the championship. One of the, I tell you, it's just, because I'm looking through this field, right? One of the reasons I asked Kane that question is because I was trying to formulate an opinion, and I failed miserably. One of the things I was thinking about before the stream is what would look like a surprising qualifying result. What will look like a surprising race result? Don't know. If Art Connor goes on and wins this race, is anybody going to be surprised? No. If Carmentless win, no. Is anybody going to be surprised if the Mighty Iggy manages to get up there and win? No. Floppy Fox could win this. Nobody will bat an eyelid. Carmentless themselves said it is a six-way fight for the title, and that six-way fight could get narrowed down drastically if the drivers aiming for top 10 spots don't manage to get themselves safely home in the first 3 races and get themselves those all important points. Very close lap times there, as you can see, 4th down through to 9th. In fact, 9th is Leon Sealy. He is lapping a bit quicker than Casper, Iggy and Mosquito at the moment, so he'll be trying to get his way back up, make sure he is in that top 10 split. But as Kane said as well, we're only splitting it metaphorically for points. We will still have all 20 cars on track dueling it out, and it is going to be fascinating to see how it plays out. I wasn't a big fan of the split league when it came to the Scottish SPL because there quite frankly isn't enough teams in the SPL to make it interesting. But this is definitely going to keep this one interesting. And Casper, I've heard rumours about his driving talent and prowess before. Did expect him to be in the Mercedes. Was it Nick or Colin? Someone was in the chat cheering on Casper and someone else, and he is absolutely putting the mighty one to the sword at the moment. I keep hesitating to think this is on PC because he's got a jet black car. That usually means someone's livery's not loaded and I need to panic and look at files, but it's fine, it's not. It's just the livery he's rocking on the Honda, so we're okay with that. We see in the background everyone's favourite Porsche driver, that is Leon Sealy, Indigo Line, SOP, sorry. I keep getting him and Yuri B mixed up. I don't even know how that's remotely possible, but I do. But Leon there, lurking with intent in the background, although I'd say that's less lurking, that's more with a bullhorn announcing your position there. He is closing in, and he'll be looking for a double overtake very, very soon. In fact, look at the run he's got out of the last corner. Unbelievable. Don't do this to me now. Oh, it's okay, it's only netcode that's stuck for a second, but what a run he's got out of the last corner. Coming into turn 1, he's not going to have the full car in front, so he's going to have a bit of work to do in the braking zone. Gets his nose just ahead, takes that apex. A stop go for Jason from race control. What does that mean, Ken?
Jason speeding in the pits, possibly, John?
Okay, yeah, right, okay, it must have been, yeah, it must have been. It didn't come up and say it. He has taken his pit stop though, so yeah, you're right, that is the most likely, but there's nobody stationary on the side of the track causing the yellow flag. Nope, he is definitely moving. So yeah, he must have got done for speeding in the pit lane. Ouch. That is a sore one. Let me just, because the pit lane here, it's actually not too bad, all things considered, because of the length of the lap. It's only about 50-55% of your lap time that you lose. So a drive-through, he's going to lose 27 seconds, so he's going to lose about a minute. I mean, that is still a healthy chunk of time when you are racing against the level of competition that these guys and gals are. Leon not messing about, looking to get another position done. So yeah, so Jason's race could all but be runnable. And saying that, there's 34 minutes to go to the Nürburgring. Considering what we've already seen, then Jason could probably still go on and win this. So come on, Jason, stick with it. You never know. Leon Sealy's looking to make himself more places, get himself far more comfortably inside the top 10. Rogue running a great race at the minute. corner, as I say, looking good to try and get past Tropic Rock. Car Mentalist having a decent run as well, guarding himself. He's got 3 tenths back on Mix, but Mix is keeping that gap, like I say, 4.5 to 5 seconds. Let me reposition the screen. There needs to be a smoother way of doing it. Spectating on console. But MiG64, I was given all the plaudits to Car Mentalist coming out with a new car. He's been under pressure recently, returning champion. And he gathered himself, got himself right back up into the mix. So for praising Car Mentalist, it's really MiG64 and needs those superlatives. 4.7 seconds up the road. Still got the mandatory pit stop to take. But an absolutely phenomenal drive in that Lexus at the moment. We'll watch him come through the old left-right. Down the hill. Into Advan Bogan. Up through the NGK chicane. Will he choose this lap to come into the pits? Connor still trying to get past Tropic Rot. So ART versus Indigo Line. Ferrari versus Aston Martin. Fascinating battle here, and one that is being intently watched by someone Kane gave a shout out to earlier. That is Blue Mosquito. The battle ahead, only Aiden to bring him back into play. Leon Seeley is another one trying to get himself back into play. A couple little incidents early doors have seen him out of position from where certainly we'd expect to see Leon, although don't have any expectations of where you think anyone should be on the grid, such as the talent we've got. We could chop and change at any moment. Leon in the Porsche, trying to get his way past the old VTEC power of the Honda in front. 57.41 and a 57.14. It's just ridiculous how quick they're managing to be. And actually, we're talking about Blue Mosquito catching up to Art Connor. That's actually Blue Mosquito just going through the Mercedes arena just ahead of Iggy. So for all the time that Connor may be losing to Mosquito, Iggy and Leon are gaining that on the Blue Mosquito himself.
Yeah,
so
it could just be the last few laps. That Bentley has dropped a little bit off the back of Art Connor as Art Connor's jumped on the back of Tropics Slipstream at the moment, and yeah, they're working their way up together as well. So Blue Mosquito just dropping off a little bit at the moment as we head into the halfway mark of the race. A couple of drivers straight in the pits now. That's SOP Cool and Pablo Prado in the pits getting that stop. Also Pablo off moving first, so is that a position change there possibly? There's Cool on the drop now. So Pablo swapping positions there in the pits, it looks like. John's muted himself. What? I took way too long there. I was reading the chat.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I said, sorry,
John
I was reading
talking.
the chat. John wasn't talking. John was busy typing and then started talking. But yeah, Pablo has absolute. Oh, he's a lap down. What? How is the timing board still showing? Right, so they're showing Floppy Fox ahead, but still showing Cool ahead. Yeah, it's showing Cool ahead of Cablo. Still.
The timing board only. Look on track. And
there we go. Yeah. Okay.
100% there. So Floppy Fox back up into 10th. Earliest pit stop done.
Yeah, he's going to. Yeah, he'll be very grateful for that. Let me just reiterate what I was shouting down the microphone when I was muted. Kieran Clifford, you are correct. Floppy is rising. Colin Mason, Rogue is having an absolute stormer. Kieran, we know what you meant. And Colin, yes. Yep, just chuck me those points on Discord and we'll get that worked out. We'll get that announced at some point during the old interviews. And Jess, go on, Rogue. Yeah, Rogue is having an absolute flyer. The two Audis, let's Let's not discount the effort they're putting in at the moment. Ooh, tell you what, Art and Tropic though, they're looking to steal all the thunder. Get it, Tropic. Leon as well, trying to get his way past this Honda still. So there was a slight lull in the action. Now we've got 2 to jump back and forward. Collins, beat you to. Let me make sure that's on the right screen. So there we go, slight lull in the action, but we do have 2 potential overtakes. We've got Art Connor trying to get past Tropic Rot. We've got Leon Seeley trying to get past the mighty Iggy. Here comes Tropic and Art through the last chicane. They remain this way. There is Jason. Yeah, I'm not sure why Jason from Race Control. He's maybe supposed to be what's the safety car? Sorry, that joke took far too long and therefore lost any resonance whatsoever. Leon Seeley, he's come into pits. Ooh, so we did see one car come in before the halfway mark. It's now past the halfway mark, and Leon Seeley has snuck his way in. He's gotten out of the battle with the mighty Iggy, which means it is Connor and Tropic still trying to trade places as far as Connor's concerned. Tropic, I'm sure, not so keen on that proposition. Floppy Fox. There's Leon. Oof, last pit box. Floppy Fox is coming through the last chicane. Leon Seeley is still stationary. Wow, he's away. Oof, so Leon Seeley is comfortably the lead driver. Wow. Wow. That has huge connotations for the rest of the field. Because Leon only came in from, what, 7th? 8th? Yes, so he's only dropped down 1 position. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, big gap there back to Floppy Fox, who we did see involved in some incidents earlier on in the race. Have been on board with APX Rogue. Wasn't expecting a whole lot out of this race. Had a bit of oversteer. He's tuning it out. Expecting a tough race this evening. Everyone's very competitive. Everyone seems close around me. At the moment, got a whole lot of air to spare around Rogue in 3rd place at present. 7 seconds back to Tropic, and only 5 seconds off. No, sorry, phrase that. 11 seconds, sorry, off Car Mantler. So yeah, very comfortable out there in 3rd position at the moment, Rogue.
He is indeed. Flying from Yellow Split. I don't know if I could do the Christmas tree one. Hey, Christmas tree, I don't remember that from Running Man. Is that the one where he's the action figure? I remember the one where he was trying to buy the action figure. That was quite funny. And what's the other one? You got to cool off. Yellow Split. I could do that one. Excited to see where Leon comes out in the Beetle. Oh yeah. Yeah, so like say, yeah, he is out. We were just looking over that. Yeah, he is out. He's inside the top 10. He could make up another position or 2 when the pit stop. I think Casper's just lit up his back tyres there through the Mercedes arena. Liam was held up, so I expect a tactical pit stop. Ah, okay. Just in and out again. Art Connor not able to find his way past Tropic. You would think if you were Connor, the pit stop might be the way to do it. Look at this little gaggle of cars. Oh, that wasn't the best exit there. That slowed them right up. Milden's pulled right up. He didn't see the car on the inside. They made a slight bit of contact. The Lexus did manage to hold it. What a hold from Bruno, by the way. Hats off to Cool. He got himself right through there. No messing about. Bruno tried to follow himself through. Was more than likely unsighted to Milden as they exited that last corner. And he's just full sent up the inside. I'm not 100% sure how we feel about that move. Was that a full send?
Yeah, a little bit of contact there, and Bruno just showing his unhappiness, I think, getting right back up onto Milden. But SOP Cool and SOP Milden here on a charge and not leaving anybody alone there. Bruno wants to get that back at the moment. Pablo now in sights.
Yeah, Cablo's in sight of Cool. Oh, and he's just had a bit of a bump draft there. Cool trying to get the two of them further down the track than the marauding mayhem that is Milden and Jixer just behind him. Bruno Jixer, by the way, not my Jixer. He'd have made two excuses. And oh, he's up the inside of the hairpin, and he's absolutely got it done this time. Oh, and I tell you what, the back of the Aston didn't quite grip on the exit. That's job done. He's not going to try and go side by side. After making a mistake early doors in the Schumacher S, there we see SOP Cool, Fluffy's entrance, and beautifully stage exit left to take another position. 2 positions on this lap alone. See SOP Cool back up to 12th position, and McCasper in the pits. Corrado is in there as well. Leon is past Casper. Floppy Fop is fact. I tell you what. Did we not say there was an 11-second gap or something between Floppy and Leon when Leon came out the pits? Because Floppy's now within 3 seconds of Leon.
Yeah, I think that may have just been a timing
Okay.
adjustment we were waiting for to catch that. With so much going on, Blue Mosquito's just brought back up to Art Connor as well, so that battle well and truly back on, with pit stops getting made out in front. Yeah, all happening here, John.
Yes, it is. No, we've still got 18. Corrado's in the pits.
Yep, all good. all good.
Carry on regardless. I went to see them live, they were awesome. Christmas Tree is the opera guy with all the lights on his suit. Yes, of course he is. I was quite happy with his ending. He was a bit of a... can't say that on here. Leon Seeley is definitely not what I was just describing. The complete opposite of fact. Absolute diamond geezer and an unbelievable driver. He's got the Volkswagen Beetle absolutely dialed in. He's got 2 Fiat Pandas chasing him at the moment. Of course, we don't have any Datsun Sunnies in the lineup, unfortunately. Although if we did, I think Delboy might be down here giving it the fuel. Only Fools and Horses trying to sell the dodgy lineup. There's Milden on Casper now. So Casper has managed to get himself between Bruno. So Bruno's made it back that place again. Another place made back. Milden, second place in the championship last season. It's not gone his way this season. The Aston Martin was a questionable choice. Let's find him at the moment in 14th, and I'm going to be honest, unless Tropic, the Mighty One, and Blue Mosquito make themselves some seriously big mistakes, I think they're going to stay ahead of Milden. Could we see... I mean, do we call that a casualty, Kane? Let's just get some terminology right for the rest of the season. Milden finished second last season. We know it's a 6-way battle for the title. We're not counting anybody out. But to see someone like, say, Milden or an SOP Cool finish outside the top 10, that's, I mean, yeah. Are we calling that a casualty, or is that just the strength of the league? Or because, I mean, yeah, surely there's got to be certain drivers you would expect to be finishing. Oof, Milden.
Yeah, Milden forcing his way through there.
Taking no prisoners.
Casper, sorry. Getting it done. Casper forced just a little bit wide. And he's off there. Let's Milden pass. That's APX Rogue into the pits, John. Rogue into the pits. So we're going to see just where Leon is for pace here. And Race, he's still at the Schumacher S's. So got a little bit of time there. He's going to catch up a little bit, but... yeah, it looks likely that these top guys could hold their positions relatively well up the top there.
Yeah, who is that in the background? Someone, alright, okay, that's you having a giggle. Remember, you quick guys, you need to be fair to the blue flaggers. They're trying to get out the way. I'm not casting judgment because I didn't see that whole incident, but that didn't look comfy for the guy at the back. Yeah, there you go, flying from. Yep. No, you go, Kane. You can read it out.
Definitely suggesting strength of the field means one tiny error and the race is ruined. It's very, very difficult to catch back up. Also, still waiting for the Lexus tyre wear to kick in. Maybe Mix 64 knows something in the setup that Flying Froome is not privy to. Yeah, definitely that Lexus still looking strong out there. Gap closed a little bit to last season's champion, Car Mentalist. 4.2 seconds the gap now. Honor up into third, and APX Rogue does come out in front of Leon Seeley. John, is that an update we're waiting?
Yeah, no,
for?
yes, he's miles. He's
Miles
he's
ahead.
he's a few corners ahead to say the least. In fact, yeah, so they're coming into corner 4 and 5 now. Rogue is just coming through the hairpin, so he's on his way up to the Schumacher S. Leon is now downhill to the hairpin, so yeah, he is definitely got himself a decent gap back to Leon. From I'm with you should be in the commentary box, mate, because I don't know how to set up a car up either, and you managed to succinctly put in one sentence what Kane and I have been scratching it for the last 20 minutes. So you must be a commentator, bud. Although, wait, you actually won races and came second in the championship. No, you're an imposter. Tell you what, who's not an imposter? Floppy Fox. He was getting big cheers in the chat from Dr. Nailbender. Who was it that declared themselves a Leeds fan last week, by the way? Somebody in the chat said they were a Leeds fan. Who was it? I can't remember. And Doc wasn't watching. I was like, my God, you've got a fan for life now if Doc Nailbender finds out you're a Leeds fan. I tell you what, Ad Van Boggen is the battleground that's been chosen. Through the chicane. Wow!
Big contact there as Floppy tries to take a little too much off the chicane and launches that Ferrari skyward. Gets a little tap from Leon in the process. Leon taking that position. Floppy's going to have to work again. Get past there. Definitely quick in that Ferrari. Catches straight back up to Leon on the main straight there.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure that
out of the way.
Yeah, they don't know who was at fault. They're letting one another pass because they can't figure out who was at fault. I think that was Floppy's Fox for sending it from way downtown. Although Leon, is he sporting damage because he's just let Yuri through as well.
Oh, look at this! They've been united straight away. It was in fact.
Oh, it's flying from. That's right. There we go.
Timing.
The chat will now be alive with Leeds United. But From, you're right. They are everywhere because you're in Scotland. Dr. Nailbender's in Florida. So you're like Man United fans. Every place except Manchester. Every place except Leeds. Let's have a look up the front though. There is still a race going on. Up at the front, I mean. We know what's happening in the middle of the actually, no, we don't know what's happening in the middle of the pack. Are you not Scottish, From?
Leon Seeley dropping off there as well, getting passed by Yuri, as well as Floppy Fox, John. So a bit of a problem there from Leon at the front of that Porsche. Yeah, definitely some damage there, hindering that handling from the contact there through the chicane. So Leon not looking good here. 11.5 seconds, still 15 minutes here. It's going to be survival mode. Hold on to that top 10, I think, for Leon.
Is he going to come in the pits and get some damage repaired? Yeah.
He 100% is.
Yep, so that answers that question then.
Team drop a whole lot further down the field after that. So not a good way to head into the final 15 minutes for Leon here. Guys out in front, Car Mentalist. We look to be seeing a little bit of tyre wear from Mix 64 up in front now. 2.9 seconds to gap, so that Audi got its pace set, and Car Mentalist can see that car in front. Definitely locked on and looking for the way, top place.
Yeah, well, it's Blue Mosquito, the Scottish, not Flying From. My apologies. Leon's still going to damage repaired. If he gets back out though, he could, yeah, he needs to come back out and finish the race to get some points, or he could be the first big scalp that is heading for Tier 2. Because, oh well, although saying that, Milden and Cool, they're down in 12th and 13th. We've still got Tropic. There's Blue Mosquito come into the pits actually. Tropic's come into the pits as well with 40 minutes to go. So Iggy, Connor, Car Mentalist and Mix 64. The last 4 drivers to take their pit stop. Mosquito and Tropic. This Mosquito's stationary. Here comes Rogue. Comfortably through.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've got Kane on the mic.
Yeah, sorry, John. Colin just mentioning the comeback points in the chat as well. I have definitely forgotten about the comeback points. Does still have that to play as well. Blue Mosquito moving again from the pits. Tropic Bra just moving as well as, yeah, so those guys out relatively close to each other. And a little bit of air as well, so Blue Mosquito be looking to head down and a good finish from here, looking top 5, very possible.
Yeah, it must be. Sorry, I'm just holding my breath there. 2 Ferraris going into turn 1. Well, it hasn't ended well so far this season. Colin Mason loving the well. Colin's from Wales, flying from. I can see Ellen Road from my flat window. Nice. I like going to the Leeds Festival and Leeds Students Union, man. What a night out that is. Actually, pretty sure I saw the Kings of Leon there, just milling about, or it might have been just like a tribute act or something that looked really, really likely. But yeah, I love Leeds. Great night out. Great night out. Yuri Bean, Floppy Fox then. These are the 2 Ferraris. They're inside the top 10, so pretty much job done. Obviously, the points are resetting after week number 3. It's vital to get as many points as you can now to make sure you're where you want to be come week number 4. Well, finishing inside the top 10 for the first 3 weeks will inevitably get you the top 10 you need. Blue's having a cracker. I'm sure he's going to finish about 12th. I think he's going to do better than 12th if we're being honest.
Started from 12th.
Oh, started from 12th, sorry.
Yeah, flying through, improving spot on again. 100% did start from 12th position, saw a couple of easy changes up the ladder as the few of the earlier drivers dropped off, sorry. Blue Mosquito definitely taking advantage of that, and yeah, well up into the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. Car Mentalist. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Look at that. His quickest lap of the race is a 155.4. The last lap he did of the race was a 155.8. And he's only 3/10 now down on his personal best, which means he's about to do another 155.8. I really, really, really need to stop checking on this guy's lap times, and that's the wrong button. That's how much of a tiz he puts me in. I can't even keep up with what I'm supposed to be doing. 55.4 for the Lexus with a 56.2 on the last lap.
That Audi of Car Mentalist into the pits now, John.
Ooh.
So P2 into the pits. Connor is still coming around at Van Bogen there, still yet to hit the chicane, so just showing how much of a gap it has put back to 3rd position at the moment. And APX Rogue just coming up through the Schumacher S's. So Car Mentalist, the good healthy gap there at the moment.
Yeah, he's stationary. He's actually staying stationary for...
Yeah, put a little bit of fuel in there, it looks. Car Mentalist off now for the last 10 minutes. Running, that's Art Connor just making his way past now, so that position will get switched back up when Connor comes in to get that pit stop done.
Yep, he's got himself ahead of Iggy as well, and comfortably. I mean, there's Rogue only just coming through the last corner now, and Car Mentalist is already halfway through the Mercedes arena. So he is very comfortably in 2nd place. Yuri and Floppy Fox. Indigo Lime versus... It's actually Indigo Lime Evo versus Indigo Lime Racing. Yuri is in the full Indigo Lime Racing team, which is why his car is green with a purple trim, and Floppy Fox is Indigo Lime Evo, which is why he's purple with the green trim. But Floppy certainly doing the junior team proud at the moment, keeping Yuri in his arrears with 2 Ferraris inside the top 10, so pretty much job done. Sorry, Ken, on you go.
No, I was just going to say, and his Evo teammate there, Tropic, just in front as well. So both those Evo drivers outperforming.
Mix in the pit.
There we go, mix into the pit. We're going to see how much time Car Mentalist did stay stationary and whether Mix needs to top up that fuel as well.
Advan Bogan then is... Oh, sorry, on you go, Ken.
No, you had it.
Yep, yeah, Advan Bogan, it's coming through. NGK chicane. Mix 64 stationary. He's just dropped. Car Mentalist coming around the glass corner. Mix is moving. Car Mentalist is on the start-finish straight. Art Connors come into the pits. Car Mentalist has crossed the start-finish line. Mix is exiting the pits. He's almost up to full speed. That's a lot closer than it was before the pit stop coming into turn 1.
It sure is. As Car Mentalist sensing that. Late on the brakes there, trying to close that gap even further, and they are both in the Mercedes arena right now.
Yuri's past Floppy as well.
Close.
Sorry, yeah, you're right, Mix. But yeah, Mix. Yuri's past Floppy as well.
Yeah, and within the 10 minutes here, everybody into the pits, having cleared those. Art Connor and Mighty Iggy still stationary at the moment. Art Connor just moving. Mighty Iggy still stopped. It is APX Rogue has gotten past there, so he's in the Mercedes arena. Blue Mosquito's come out. Looks to have possibly made up a position there. No, that's Connor just in front with Aspero in between them as well. A lapped car possibly. Yeah, Caspero just getting shown those blue flags at the moment, letting that Blue Mosquito pass. So all action there. Bentley 6th place still. Do have to wait for all the updates.
Oh yeah, this is
all on the line.
It really is brilliant, because the Iggy's about to drop down a couple of places. Rogue's going to go past him. Blue Mosquito, I think Blue Mosquito, he's ahead of Iggy. That's going to update in a second. Blue Mosquito's up to 5th. What a drive!
Iggy all the way down behind Floppy Fox, John. Yeah, so Blue Mosquito top 5 from 12th spot in qualifying. Huge for Blue Mosquito there.
Iggy's in 7th. He's actually just ahead of Yuri B that's just overtaken Floppy Fox. So yeah, the timing boards have let you down there again. But no, Iggy is definitely, he's hung on to 7th. Yuri B, as you can see, is...
Floppy had an incident at the hairpin then, John, because it was definitely
okay.
At his car in front of Iggy just before, so the field's so close. One tiny mistake here at the end, and Floppy back down into 9th at the moment. Leon Sealy after that contact earlier on, down into 14th. So yeah, definitely some top guys in line for the championship. Not where they thought they would be finishing, as someone takes that through the middle. Is that Tropic? Nope. Yuri B forgetting there's a chicane at the end. Advan Bogan there, and completely missing that one up. I'll lose a little bit of time to Floppy as well, but yeah, all happening up front as well.
Yeah, it is, and it's all happening, like you say, up at the front. Mix is led for an extended period of time. But Car Mentalist, I mean, I'm literally sitting here shaking my head. I don't know what superlatives I'm supposed to use to describe him anymore. I've been through the encyclopedia. But he has put on another phenomenal drive, an absolute champion's performance, it has to be said. Returning champion in a brand new car, one that wasn't expected to do well at this track because it is a middle engine. The front engines were touted to be the best. Car Mentalist doesn't care. He is just destroying the gap between himself and Mix at the moment. The tyre wear that was being talked of in the chat could well be coming to fruition at the moment for the Lexus, or it could just be Car Mentalist decided that he's bored making it interesting and wants the race win back again. Well, whenever he feels like it, really. But yes, he's just put in a quicker lap than Mix 64, that is for sure. 5 minutes left on the clock, but it is almost a 2-minute lap, so we're potentially going to see 3 more laps. Plenty of time for Car Mentalist to do his work. Plenty of time for Mix 64 to try and defend that position. Good luck with that. APX Rogue, full hat tip to the man in the Audi, finishing on the podium by the looks of it. He's got a fair gap back to Connor, and Connor looks like he's going to have his hands full with Blue Mosquito sooner rather than later. Tropic leading the way for Indigo Lime and for the Ferraris in 6th position. Iggy in 7th, Yuri in 8th, more than capable of closing the gap to Iggy as well. Floppy Fox in 9th, Bruno is in 10th, outside the top 10 at the moment. No, really, genuinely, this is outside the top 10. SOP Cool, SOP Milden, Cablo and Leon Seeley. That is 11th through 14th at the moment, and it's certainly not the start to the season that those 4 drivers would have envisaged. Casper as well, still very quick. New ACC, but still very, very quick. Yavana Girls in 16th, Jason's in 17th, and Corrado has retired to the pits. Oh, yeah. Right, I think I'm just going to sit back, put my feet up. Am I allowed to do that for the next 3.5 minutes, Ken? Can I just put my feet up and just watch this battle between these two?
John.
No.
Negative, John.
No.
Negative. Are you trying to hold my breath to talk at the moment? Car Mentalist putting Mix 64 under all sorts of pressure here. Headed into the final 3 minutes. We're going to have a couple of laps left to go. And yeah, definitely looking to take this top spot from that Lexus, who's held on for most of the race here. Car Mentalist looking racy as always, but trying to find that line past Mix, just letting it go, knows he's still got 2 minutes left. APX Rogue still up in the 3rd place. Huge drive from Rogue there at the Audi as well. What a race it has been tonight. Car Mentalist definitely getting the better of the exits there and could have it done and make his way out. Still very, very patient to try to go too wide. Car Mentalist just tucks in behind, showing every line you can drive here at Nürburgring. Doing a stellar job there in the Audi Mix. Paul, no doubt, feeling the pressure from behind now.
Oh yeah, with 2 minutes left to go, returning champion breathing down his neck. And it is good to see a Lexus and an Audi battling it out up at the front. It's not something you see often in ACC races, but this could be a battle we will see continue right on through the season. Flying from, I'm surprised there's not a single Lamborghini. That makes 3 of us, you, myself and Kane. And Dex, some of the drivers have got a big job to do in the next 2 races. Again, Dex with king of the understatement there. You ain't joking. We're going to stay firmly on board though with this battle here up at the front. I'm sure it's interesting down the field as well. But who is going to win this race is what we all want to know. Corsa the commentator right there. Wow.
As I just dropped to have a look at Blue Mosquito, what happened there, John? Fill us in.
Car Mentalist, just self-inflicted mistake, bud. He lost it on the final corner. He lost it coming out of the last chicane, just on the exit. Gave the car a bit of a spin, and that one's done and dusted.
Mix 64 soaking up all that pressure after the pit stop, and it looks to be securely out in 1st place now. Blue Mosquito closing the gap on Art Connor too. That could be the last one of the position changes, looking at the top 5. Very close there, and Tropic.
Oh, cool.
Right
Jackson and UDB, look at this. Wow, UDB, what's happened to UDB? Suddenly lost all the pace in the world. That's Bruno that's just gone flying past them, and I tell you, there is SOP Cool. Breathing down his neck as well. I mean, I say breathing down his neck, he's about to completely mug him off and take that position. They've got one last lap to get it done. Really slow lap for Yuri there, 1:59. I think he's made a mistake as well. And I tell you, SOP Cool.
Could be a low fuel thing there too, John. Maybe thinking we had one less lap than predicted Yuri, but those guys out in front setting quite the pace. So yeah, Yuri could be low on fuel there, a little bit slower. Bruno looks to be pulling away, and yeah, SOP Kill right on the back of.
Yeah, I had to breathe in there as well, Ken. I didn't think they were making that out. That was so close there. Or it certainly looked like it from this screen. They're leading away. Mix is on the last lap. He's coming. Yes, we'll get to see him cross the line. I'm getting really good at this broadcast and stuff. There you go. Mix 64 is going to cross the line, and he is going to win round 1 of One Hub's second ACC season. What a drive it was. Carmentless has gathered himself. He's going to cross the line. He's going to finish on the podium. He's going to get grilled in the commentary box very, very shortly indeed. He's going to take second place in the Audi. Fellow Audi driver APX Rogue is going to get himself a podium finish as well. He's going to get the checkered flag. Art Corner Blue Mosquito still battling in the background. SOP Cool trying to get a moved on Yuri B. Ah, sorry Rogue, I really want to see you get the checkered flag, but they're really close down the field. Cablo and Leon Seeley have been given the checkered flag. Then Leon Seeley, 14th position. I think that's their first big upset in the round. Blue Mosquito and Art Corner crossing the line to take the checkered flag. Tropic Rock close in attendance. The Mighty Iggy in 7th. Bruno is in 8th. SOP Cool and Indigo Lime Racing's Yuri P are nose to tail. A 10th and a half between them. Incredible, but Cool does make his way back inside the top 10. Floppy Fox rolls across the line and he has run out of fuel. That's exactly what's happened to Floppy Fox. Milden, our returning silver medalist, finds himself in 12th. Cablo 13th. Leon Seeley in 14th. Casper 15th. Jason is going to take himself a 16th position. And Corrado has retired 17 laps down. In 17th position, we have lost one driver, or someone's backed out already, but Kane, as far as season openers go, not too shabby.
Not too shabby is definitely an understatement there. Definitely a couple of drivers not going to be happy with the result after race 1. And still got on screen, on my screen, one very happy driver, the Blue Mosquito, and others around taking advantage of some incidences and some very, very driving as well to move their way well up into the top 10 at the moment after round 1. 2 rounds left. Take their claim for the top split as well, John. It is pressure as always.
Oh, yes, it is. The season format is absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure sponsors Next Level Racing and Free Sim Racing and partners Vespertine and ERT and the Mental Health Foundation will all be absolutely delighted at the display we have had from our drivers this evening. Yeah, Mix takes the top spot. Carmentless second. APX Rogue taking third place. 2 Audis on the top spot. I mean, what do you pick out as your big news there? Yuri B and Cool managed to make themselves back inside the top 10. Floppy 11, Milden 12, Leon Seeley 14th. So a lot of work to do for those drivers next week. The pressure is constantly building. Machines can make mistakes. A shame for Carmentless. Indeed, after that drive, I mean, to get that close right at the end, unbelievable. Let's very quickly, we've already got someone, unsurprisingly, stuck. Remember, you can use... Let's have a look. Yeah, let's get him straight in. Audi driver extraordinaire, first out in here at One Hub in an ACC season. First points scoring available. An APX Rogue and a middle engine car at the Nürburgring only finds himself on the podium. Third position, Rogue. You must be absolutely delighted with that result, mate.
Yeah, I didn't believe that. I got so lucky at the start there with 4 cars, was it, that just crashed out at the start, and I don't know how I kept the pace with Connor behind. I thought he was going to catch me, and I thought I was going to retire at some point, but I found a setup just before the race and just worked perfectly.
Yeah, it really did. It really
Yeah.
did. It looked like a pretty. Sorry, I'm just checking a message from Dexter as well, but that one's from earlier on. So I'll jump straight back to this. Yeah, like you say, at the start there, I mean, it was definitely a tale of two stints. Before the pit stops, it was drama, 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 and then after your pit stop in stint number 2, it was pretty much clean-ish sailing. Or how did you feel the stints went for you?
The start was quite intense with Connor behind. Like I said, it's just
Yeah.
keep the pace against them was really hard. I thought they were all gonna catch me. And then that's the second stint. I kind of got worried at the end because it looked like Connor was pulling away, but he was actually getting closer. Um, Whenever I seen him passing by the pits and seen him behind me, I was so glad and really hoped I stayed on the track for the last 20 minutes of that race, and thankfully I could.
Yeah, you did. Kane, I know you've got questions you're dying to ask Rogue.
John, yeah, APX Rogue there, fantastic finish. Qualified in 8th. I bet you didn't see yourself finishing on the podium there. And has it changed your expectations for the season ahead?
At the moment, I don't think so. It's just a very lucky race. There's a lot of guys that should have been up there that should have been definitely way ahead of me. Um, but except for that, I'm hoping to aim for a top 10 at least every race now. That I know that my pace is somewhat up there.
Well, yeah, definitely getting it off to a good start this evening.
Yeah, definitely. Qualifying in 8th, you've definitely got the pace to mix it with the top 10. And with this format, obviously with the season splitting, we've got, well, as you probably saw there, a couple of results. A few of the big guns, pre-season, I suppose, the fancy drivers, have finished outside the top 10. So seeing the way that some of that have gone, I mean, does it really not change your expectation for the season? I know you're now saying, yeah, top 10s, but surely seeing, yeah, the way things unfold, if you can sneak yourself into the top 10 in the first 3 races or get yourself, that puts you in the top 10 for the last 5. And with the way some of the big guns are dropping, you really could see yourself propelled much further up. So are you going to allow yourself that little stretch of the expectations, or do you think, yeah, just keep the feet planted firmly on the ground and take it one race at a time?
I think I will be taking it one race at a time. If it the way it is at the moment, I think that definitely the top split will be where I am. But I don't expect most of the top guys to do that. There are a lot of them are really, really quick.
Yes, they really are. They really are. We've got my beloved Spa next week. What do you reckon ahead of that? How do you find yourself? What sort of times are you setting around there? How do you feel with that particular track?
I haven't done much practice for it. Last time I done a race around there was around a month ago, probably. So I'm normally in the R8 whenever I do go around Spa. So hopefully it will be a good race for me. I'm definitely aiming for maybe a top 5 if possible, depending on the way that the
The
top.
cookie crumbles, yep. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Kane?
John, yeah, no, that's me. Yeah, congratulations again to Rogue. We do have another very fast Audi waiting to chat in the form of Carl.
Oh,
Mentalist.
actually, yeah, sorry, before you go, Rogue, what influenced your car choice? You went for the Audi. We don't often see those. Any particular reason you went for the Audi? Sorry, let me just throw that one in there before we grab
Uh,
car list.
I don't really know. I just kind of steered towards it whenever I used to do a lot of open lobbies, and it's just kind of a car that I'm used to. So I just thought for my first season that stick to what I'm used to driving.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and it's definitely worked out for you. You got a podium in your first points outing, my friend. So,
Yeah.
congratulations. And we are. Oh, driver of the day picks with questions. Yep, okay. Okay, we need to get better at this. But Rogue, thank you very, 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 very much. We're actually looking at the prizes that are up for grabs at the moment. But yeah, thank you very much for the display this evening. Congratulations on second place, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Spa, my friend.
Thank you.
Cheers, bud.
Thank you,
All right.
Rogue.
There we go. That was APX Rogue in an Audi. The Audi seeming like a surprise choice. Speaking of surprise choice Audis, It's only the man himself, the returning champion. Heart in mouth moments right through the race. He doesn't do it dull, he does do it well. Returning champion makes it back onto the podium. Definitely a case of what could have been if it wasn't for that little mistake in the last chicane. But Car Mentalist is returning champion. How was that first point scoring race for you, my friend?
Well, hello again.
Hello!
Nice to be back in the podium box and not in there half an hour before the race is finished.
Yep.
But I don't know how to feel about that one. I mean, I came into the race not expecting much because, of course, it's my first race in an Audi in a competitive state, so I hadn't a clue how I was going to shape up. But yeah, I'm happy with second, but I definitely threw that race win on two occasions. Obviously, one very early on and one very late on, which was kind of a shame. But I'm still happy with P2. I mean, a lot of other big guns made a lot of mistakes in that race, so if they hadn't, it could have been even worse for me. So I'll take P2. It's how I started last season, and we obviously know how the rest of the season went on, so it's definitely not a bad start.
Indeed. Well, I'm going to let Kane fire straight in because I know that you've almost just touched on a question that he, I, and the rest of the viewers are dying. So, Kane, please fill your boots.
Yeah, absolutely. You briefly touched on that. You had the lead early on, Car Mentalist, and then slipped back to second. I frantically, through the replay, missed what actually happened there with you and Mix at the start of the race there. Can you fill us in?
So I can't remember the corner number, but obviously you come out of that stadium section at the start of the lap, and then you've got that kind of like lazy left-right chicane. I can't remember what corner number that is. But the left-hand side part, I just took too much curb on the inside. It unsettled the car, and I half-spun, basically. Nothing to do with Mix. Mix had to slam on the brakes to avoid me because he was quite close behind. But yeah, it was my mistake. I just turned in too early, hit the curb, and lost the car from underneath me, which is pretty much identical to what happened at the end of the race as well. So yeah, two easily avoidable mistakes on my end. Nothing that Mix did in any situation that really that forced those incidents. Just two minor errors on my part.
Yeah, it did look like some hard racing out there between you two guys, setting some very quick laps as well. And just at the end there, just a little bit too hot through the chicane, was it? Mixed the line up there.
I don't think I was too hot through the chicane. I hadn't really had a problem with the chicane the whole race. The Audi's, to my surprise, actually quite compliant over some of the curbs. It's a lot actually more stable over the curbs than the McLaren was, which I was quite surprised by. So I was able to use the curbs at the chicane quite nicely. I guess the game just didn't want me to win because I turned into the chicane on the penultimate lap, took the same amount of curb that I had been taking for the majority of the race, and just lost the rear of the car and couldn't hold it. So yeah, tried to be aggressive. I mean, it wasn't really any more aggressive than I had been doing in the race, but I couldn't afford to back off and take it safe because turn one really is my only chance of an overtake on the last lap unless Mix makes some sort of error in the lap. So I had to go for it. It didn't pay off in the end, but I didn't lose anything from it either. So yeah, not too bad in the end.
Definitely a positive out of that as well. Still held on second position. So again, congratulations. Over to you, John.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like we're going to get Mix in for an interview, Car Mentalist, so it's a case of be careful what you wish for. You're about to get a double roasting tonight because, there's no one in after you. So, you can get some extra questions. You are the returning champion as well, so it seems only fit. It's amazing how polite I am as I throw someone under the bus. You were talking about there were some other big guns tonight making some mistakes in that. It's certainly going to make it interesting. Kane and I were talking during the race about how even this is only race 1, but after race 3 the points are reset. So really drivers like yourself are looking really to establish themselves in the top 10 and at least make it into that top 10 split. We've seen a few drivers finish outside the top 10 tonight. Fox, Leon and the gang. I take it most of them are surprises for you, but any real major surprise results for yourself tonight? I mean, Rogue getting on the podium, not too bad at all considering he qualified in 8th. Blue Mosquito had a good result, but is there any that stood out to you as shockingly bad or surprisingly good or surprisingly bad? Let's not go shocking. That's brutal.
A little bit brutal,
A
but
little bit brutal.
yeah, there was quite a lot of it through the field. I would definitely say probably one of the bigger shocks for me was Leon not being really anywhere the whole race. I don't know what happened to Leon, unfortunately. I don't know if he had a incident at the start or something like that, but Leon didn't really factor in that race at all, which was kind of surprising considering he had a pretty strong preseason. And
Yeah,
obviously
bit of
knowing him as
contact
well.
early door. A
Oh, okay.
couple of the stewards are going to be busy.
That's going to be fun. I think pretty much all of the SOP guys it obviously didn't go their way today, but it was quite a shock to see it not go their way and then equally not really recover in a way. I saw Cool was kind of at the back of the field for the majority of the race, Milden as well, but I think Milden's kind of comes partly down to car choice as well. I think he's always going to have a tough time of it. And yeah, Rogue on the opposite end of the spectrum. I knew Rogue was going to be top 10 featuring. I kind of guessed he'd be in and around where Connor was. But yeah, he did a really solid job today. Didn't really put foot wrong. Had a clean race. Brought it home safely in third. So yeah, he did a really good job today. So the Audi's going well so far.
Yes, well, and there we go. Let's go for that as well. The car choice. The Audi, I mean, I was saying it wasn't necessarily touted to do well. It's usually the front engine cars that do not too bad at the Nürburgring. But your car choice over the season, the Audi, it's not a car that we see a lot, whether on console or PC. So what was it that made you go for that one? Because I know somebody that drove it for a season, and yeah, he said it was quick, but it could be a handful in the corners.
It definitely can be a handful. It depends on how you set it up. I tend to set my cars up quite soft, so that it's not I'm not on the edge all the time, but I can push a bit harder. Whereas if I set the car up to be edgy and be quick, then I feel like I'm constantly driving at 90% to make sure the car's not spinning. So if I set it up a bit softer, then I can push it. So I've set the Audi up quite soft in that sense, and it paid off tonight pretty well. I was kind of stuck between four car choices coming into tonight. I'd done a bit of practice over the weekend and last night, and it was kind of between the Porsche that I obviously used in the preseason race, the Lamborghini, and the Mercedes. And I thought the Nürburgring would be a good test of speed kind of for all three cars because it kind of has a bit of everything. I was initially going to choose the Lamborghini until I drove the Audi, and the Audi felt the same as the Lambo, but just had more speed. Especially in the lower speed stuff, the Audi is really good in the low speed. So, yeah, that's kind of the reason I went for it. It's easy to set up. It's easy to set it up soft and still be fast. It's especially good in the low speed stuff. And like you said, Nürburgring's usually more suited to the front engine cars. So the fact that I was able to be on pole and close to mix throughout the race is hopefully a good omen for the rest of the season.
Yeah, well, I was absolutely fanboyed when you put it on pole. I'm not going to lie, watch the stream back, it is ridiculous. Like I say, because, and I've even mentioned on the stream, you said yourself, you've not had the best driving experiences over the past couple of weeks. You were picking a new car, you're the returning champion. There's not only the pressure to defend your title, but also just to make it back into the top 10, so you've got a chance at defending your title. And you yourself said it was a six-way battle for the title this season. So we're asked about how much pressure did you actually feel coming into tonight's race? Being that, I mean, let's face it, defending champion, new car, potentially underpowered. How does Car Mentalist handle that type of pressure?
I think I handle that type of pressure by not expecting anything, really. I think I came into tonight not expecting to do anything special.
Right.
I mean, in the practice sessions I'd been in, any time I've been in the practice session, Apex or Yuri B were usually in the sessions at the same time, and Yuri B had half a second to a second on me throughout the pace in the practice session, which I think was maybe helped by the fact he was maybe running a little less fuel than me. But I was just under the impression that Yuri B and the Ferraris would do well tonight. So yeah, the fact that I got pole position was a major shock. I was really shocked I got pole position in that race, and yeah, I think getting pole position actually played against me for my mental state because I then went in expecting to win the race and then obviously didn't. So maybe next time I need to start second on the grid and then I'll do a
Yeah.
better job at not making mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like you say, it's ever since the last season ended, it's been pretty rough on me for ACC ever since then. So it's just good to actually have a good race under my belt for the first time in like 2 months, maybe. So yeah, just happy I've got a good race under my belt, and hopefully that starts to swing things back in the right direction for me.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Well, sorry, Kane, I've completely monopolised Car Mentalist. Other than his actual vital statistics, I'm not sure there is any other questions you could ask him. Is there anything you'd like to throw his way before we let him go and grab himself something to eat? Is Kane...
I think he might be gone.
Ah, of course he is. Of course he is. Of course he is. I knew about that because he's got to get his little girl at school. Either that or he's been disconnected. He's been disconnected. He's back again. Is Kane having... I think he might be having internet issues.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
There's a robot somewhere in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, got separated there. Everybody turned into a robot. So I figured it was my future talking. Get out of there before you hear something you're not supposed to. Yeah. We are back.
Back, yes, well, we're just about to let Carmentalist go, and you and I will do our driver of the days. Best wishes to Colin's neighbour, by the way. I hope you get yourself sorted, Colin. We'll do the comeback points at another point in time. But yeah, any last questions for Carmentalist, Kane?
No, sorry.
No, no.
trying to get some background things done so we can in fact get onto some comeback points. We've still got our driver of the day, but John. So,
Yes.
yeah, again, congratulations to Car Mentalist for the podium position tonight, and yeah, good luck for the rest of the season. No doubt we'll be speaking to you again plenty this season.
Fingers crossed. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, cheers, Carmentalist. Thank you once again. We'll see you next week for Spa. That was Carmentalist, finished on the podium, returning season champion. We've got, yeah, it's live. What happens? Oh, everything goes wrong when it's live. But yeah, we'll pick our two driver of the days, and I very sneakily let Kane go first last week, which means I get the honours this week. I can see that, Kane. I'm wondering whether I should or not. If only you could see the interactive whiteboard Kane and I have. My driver of the day will be Mix 64. So yeah, my driver of the day is going to be Mix 64. Congratulations on the win. And my question will be, how did the race result meet your expectations, and does that reframe your expectations for the rest of the season? And Kane, are you able to read that, mate? Would
Yes.
you like me? Will I make it a bit bigger so you can read that? Is that clear enough for you, bud?
No, it's clear enough for me.
That's
I was
fine,
just
yeah.
making sure it was clear enough for somebody else in the commentary box here. Didn't want John to mistakenly pick mine after I had worked through stream to get my selection made. Anyway, we're just trying to drag our time here as we do have someone frantically working for the comeback points in the background. Shows the dedication to the back staff here. Driver of the day. Mine, I think again, I can't remember from last week, but Blue Mosquito in the Bentley tonight, starting from 12th position, had a huge result here tonight. So I know in the pre-season chat, was still just tossing up the car selection. So my question is, are you happy with the selection of your car after race one has been completed now? But yeah, again, driver of the day, Blue Mosquito, 12th position to 5th for tonight. Huge drive.
Yes, indeed. So there are the two nominations. Sorry, Dr. Nailbender, not another race tonight, I'm afraid. Sorry, bud. He was getting himself all excited because I brought up another post in there. But yeah, so that is...
Blue Mosquito straight away in the chat. Congratulations on your 5th place. has
Oh,
joined
nice.
stream chat. So has in fact confirmed he's in love with the Bentley selection tonight after race 1. So yeah, again, huge congrats there, Blue Mozzie. It was a great race. Definitely showed some pace out there and took advantage of some of those early instances. We all know you need to do sometimes, but holding on to it. Quite a battle with Connor there. You go going backwards and forwards there a little bit. So that was definitely one I was keeping my eye on. But yeah, solid drive out there, Blue Mosquito. Congratulations.
Indeed, in the chat. We've got up on screen now, as you can see. The drivers get their immediate evening. That was yesterday. Kane and I managed to fumble through the whole broadcast and not actually concentrate on any of the questions. But thank you to the drivers for filling them in every week. It is fantastic. And it's great for Kane because of the time difference. He gets to wake up to it all. I get at least 24 hours to read it. It's great. Tuesday today, that is race day. Tomorrow, the driver of the day polls will open. So get yourself onto Twitter, get yourself into Discord, and you can vote for your driver of the day as picked by Kane and myself. The two drivers this week, Mix 64, eventual race winner, and Blue Mosquito. Making that charge through the field and gaining himself several places, has caught the eye of my co-commentator and given him that nomination. So like I say, get yourself onto Twitter and get voting. We will announce the results of that and the stewards' inquiries. They're going to be busy on Saturday. And of course, Kane and I will bring you all that information live next week from Belgium, because we're going to Spa. Yeah, that's going to be...
Definitely are, John. And just before you jump in there, just going to ask you the question. With the race change, we've had 2 60-minute races so far. Round 2 seeing the first of the 75 minutes sent around Spa. One, don't even need to ask the question. I know you're looking forward to the extra 15 minutes at Spa. But 2, you reckon it's going to play a bit of a part on their pit stops after tonight's race?
I think it will. I definitely think it will. I think there is a potential to see some drivers maybe changing tyres. 75 minutes is right on the bubble. 80, 90 minutes you would, dependent on the track. I mean, if you're in the Lexus, I'm sure Frome will be in the chat backing me up here. The Lexus tyre wear is probably why we're not seeing many Lamborghinis. The tyre wear on those things can be pretty bad once it goes south. It really can go south. So yeah, I think... Yeah, but again, see, it's easy to say. I think it'll change because of early doors, lap 1 this, lap 1 that. But it is all about lap 1. You know what I mean? We could say, oh, they'll be potentially look to run longer and make more of a decision. Also, the weather as well. Hopefully, whoever programs the server gets their fingers out when the clouds start opening. And we get to see...
And we see a little bit of a sprinkle maybe, hey?
Yeah, just a little bit of a sprinkle in the middle would be great. But yeah, I think the 75 minutes... I think it's going to be... I think definitely if I was new to ACC, because obviously One Hub are pretty new to ACC, a lot of Formula 1 drivers, I would definitely be in the practice server if I was new to ACC, watching what the regulars are doing as far as their tyre wear and things go. Definitely could play a big factor, because I've done races already in the past few weeks where we've seen some drivers change tyres in an 80 to 90 minute race and some drivers not change tyres, and them having massively different results with the guys changing tyres actually winning. So more times in the pit, but the Spa pit lane is a monster. So yeah, I think the extra 15 minutes will also play a part in it, and hopefully the weather does too. And that is just in time to announce the comeback points. Every week we have... yeah, sorry, I was just looking. Have I got the wrong one up? I do. Ah, look at me, silly me. I've been using the wrong calendar. That doesn't have the race times on it. But there we go. We'll learn something new every day. In fact, we don't learn something new every day. I learn something new. You all just get it reaffirmed that I don't know what I'm doing. So we'll get the race calendar. It is 75-minute for next week's race. But it is that time. Kane, would you like to take the honours? We have 2 comeback points to award. One for inside the top 10, one for outside the top 10. That's the driver that started outside the top 10 and made up the most places. Kane, for outside the top 10 it was...
Cablo tonight.
Indeed it was, indeed it was. So congratulations to Cablo. You will receive points towards your tally for gaining the most places from outside the top 10. Making it back up to 13th. And inside the top 10, comeback points. Thought the Mosquito might have been on for this one, but Kane, it was in fact...
Bruno, John, who started all the way down in last position. No qualifying time. Bruno joined right at the end and made his way up to 8th position.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. Phenomenal drive. So congratulations to those two. Bruno and Cablo both find themselves receiving points towards their total. So there we go then. That is the end of this evening. What an evening it's been. Absolutely non-stop. Let me just see if I can grab this bit here. Of course, big shout out to the sponsors. Mental Health Foundation. It is good to talk. Okay? It's good to talk. Just if you need to talk to someone, there's always someone there. Sim Racing is a great release. There's DMs, there's Discord, the Mental Health Foundation. Please don't ever sit there on your own. You DM me if you need someone to talk to. Okay, feel absolutely 100% free. Big thanks to Next Level Racing, who sponsored the F1 Leagues with a DD stand. 3M Sim Racing with their Sim Racing gloves. And of course, partners. We've got Vespertine, who support with championship prizes and ERT. Dexter and the gang. They have sponsoring the Going Gets Tough award for the drivers. They complete all their media day bits and pieces, finish outside the top 3 and attend every single race. So there we go. So thank you to the sponsors and to the partners. Thank you to the drivers. Thank you to the viewers. And of course, massive thank you to the man that actually really does make this as slick as it possibly can be. Puts up with me at stupid times of the day and night and doesn't moan when I do Arnie impressions, or not too much at all. It's Kane Denham. Thank you once again, Kane.
Thank you, John, as always. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to the kind words. Jess,
Oh yeah,
John
in the
and
chat,
Kane
yeah.
have been superb. Thanks, Coms. Fantastic. Thank you, Colin. Wish your neighbour a speedy recovery. Sounds like an awful accident there. Thank you so much for the comeback points there. We did get there. Mick, sorry to miss the interview, guys. Family commitments. We did hear, mate. Family first.
We'll get you next week.
Foremost. We sure will. You did have a fantastic race. So, definitely looking forward to next week and the season ahead, John. Cannot wait to get that split as well. I keep forgetting. We keep bringing it up. But, yeah, we do have that split after round 3. So, plenty to play for next week at Spa. Can't wait for that one. Thanks again, everyone.
Indeed, there we go. It's Spa next week. There's the calendar. It's Spa, Japan. We do the split, then Italy, Britain, South Africa, finally Italy. But that is all we have time for this evening. So again, thank you to everyone involved. Thank you to Kane. And thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to the partners. Thank you to everybody in the chat for the kind words. We will see you all, same time, same place next week. Get on Twitter, get voting, get on YouTube and get watching the VOD and get signed up as a reserve. The league's already full, but put pressure on the guys in there to stay in there. There's prizes up for grabs, people. Stay safe, take it easy. Good night.